Tractor manufacturers have made significant improvements to the safety components of tractors since the mid-1980s. So if you're working on tractors that were built before that time period, it's important to be aware of those risky components to the tractors and things that we need to be aware of in order to avoid accidents and injury. This is particularly important to us here in Maine and in the Northeast because there's still a lot of these older tractors in operation. One thing to be aware of with older tractors is that they typically have a higher center of gravity than most of our newer tractors. So the engine itself will sit up a lot higher than newer tractors. And also they will typically have one single pivot point on the front axle that allows the whole front axle to give way more, which means that the tractor can tilt more, making it more tippy. Another thing to be aware of when working around older tractors is the lack of shields and safety features such as electrical overrides for general safety around the equipment. So with this one, we actually do have a safety shield when you're operating the equipment to protect you from the inner workings of the engine. But many old tractors will have these cooling fans right out in the front of the tractor where you can easily accidentally come into contact with them. Another thing that you'll see is older tractors that you can easily start the tractor in any gear. So newer tractors have safety features where you can only start the tractor from neutral and while in the seat. Older tractors also tend to have more components of them that have been used for longer. So you'll see more wear, more degradation of the parts that can create a safety hazard. So when you have old tires that are cracked and checked like this, there's the opportunity that those could explode while you're driving down the road or just lose pressure. We also want to be aware of hydraulic lines, and if you ever see wearing on those hydraulic lines, it's important to get those replaced right away due to the high pressure of the fluid that is running through those lines. If you start to get chafing and cracking of the hydraulic lines, you can get pinprick holes where the fluid is leaving the line so quickly and under so much pressure that you can't see it. So what you need to do is replace these lines as quickly as possible, but if you're going to continue to use them, use a piece of cardboard and run that over. Never use your hand, and if the cardboard turns wet, then you know that you have a crack that needs to be replaced. You really need to avoid putting your hands or your skin around that because that hydraulic fluid can cut you and get into your bloodstream. So in addition to older tractors having a higher center of gravity, also any tractor built before the mid-80s did not have a rollover protective structure on it. So that means that we have a higher chance of rollover and less protection in the case of a rollover. So this tractor actually has had a rollover protective structure retrofitted onto the back of it. And these bars are made specifically for the manufacturer and the type of tractor that it's on. And they're also made using very specific engineering specifications to make sure that they're going to be strong enough to protect you in the case of an accident. It's important whenever a new worker or someone new to operating equipment comes around these older tractors that they get a thorough training from someone with more experience with that piece of equipment. So again, we're looking at the high center of gravity, the lack of protective and safety features around the tractor, and the wear and tear on aspects of tractors that we really need to be aware of and be working towards improving the safety of the tractor through retrofitting and additions of safety features whenever possible. If you have an older tractor that was manufactured without a rollover protective structure, there may be some currently available programming. Contact the National ROPS Rebate Program to find out. They can provide a list of manufacturers for new, certified ROPS kits, and in some states where rebate funding is available, they may be able to assist with the cost of retrofitting your tractor. Visit their website at ropsare4u.org or call 1-877-767-6666 7748 to learn more.